Hey everybody, it's your pal Drew, and on this Memorial Day 2023, day to commemorate those who have served our country and protected our freedoms and such. So, a dope like me could have a YouTube channel. and that's being silly, but you know what I'm saying. Beautiful weather today, thankfully. It was great. Anyway, this episode, I'm going to break it up into different episodes because this is such a complex character story-wise that one episode just won't do. Okay. This is the all-new Ms. Marvel from 1986. The then all-new Ms. Marvel. The original one was Carol Danvers from 1976. Then she lasted 22 issues. In the last couple issues, she was given a new costume by Dave Cockrum with a sash. So this costume is very similar, just a different color scheme and no bare shoulders. But what happened with Carol Danvers' Ms. Marvel is she got some kind of power boost where she became like this galactic interplanetary character called Binary, and she had this really wild cosmic hairdo, and she had the famous Dave Cockrum sash because he was drawing it. He returned after being away for a while, and then so the name was Ms. Marvel was available. So Mike created this Ms. Marvel for the wrestling team, and she took a liking to him just because he treated her nicer than a lot of the other guys. Like, they weren't keen on her joining, the boys' club of this wrestling. And this is the Unlimited Weight Class Wrestling Federation that Mike came up with. And that was a brilliant idea. It really was, because wrestling was taking off in the mid-'80s and so on. I'm ashamed to say I don't follow it much. I know a lot of my buddies that are my age are really into wrestling, and I'm not going to embarrass myself by saying a bunch of names and screwing them up, and have the fan of Never mind. I started off that sentence all wrong. So, her name is Sharon Ventura. Previously, had not appeared anywhere. Apparently this is her first appearance. She got into wrestling, and she made a deal with this guy, Carl Mollis, who was the power broker. And so she just struck a friendship with the Thing because he was more gentlemanly, I guess. And I'm jumping ahead because the Thing got canceled. He ended up leaving in the last issue of his own book because he was mutating really bad. He disappeared. He was going to join the West Coast Avengers, and then something happened to where he started mutating like really grotesquely, and he just wanted to be away from everyone. So nobody knew who he was, and Ms. Marvel just went off to do her. We didn't know what happened in the meantime, but we're coming to that. Okay, here we go. Fantastic Four 304 with Quicksilver. I hate to say it, but that's a less than dynamic cover by John Buscema. And please forgive me, everyone. It's just, it's like there's not much overlap. They're all kind of unrelated figures, but, I love everything John does anyway. So, this is perfect. Steve Englehart comes on board with John Buscema and Joe Sinnott, and it's a wonderful, wonderful return to, just fantastic, just a real fantastic era of the Fantastic Four. Ben came back to the FF after Johnny Storm, the Torch, stole his girlfriend Alicia Masters and eventually married her. They had been a couple. Ben and Alicia had been a couple for about 20 some years. He was off on Battle World for a year because he didn't know what he wanted to do post Secret Wars. He could change to Ben Grimm back, and he became Rocky Grimm's Space Adventurer, which was really corny, but what the hell. I hadn't read those either. That's kind of like when I stopped buying the Thing. He came back to the FF, but he's extremely bitter, because I understand the wound is still fresh that he came back, and, one of his best friends growing up ended up marrying the love of his life. So, I like that silent panel. It just gives him like a sense of irritation. It's just like bubbling inside of him. And then here comes Johnny and Alicia. Whoa. And goes, hey, no hello from you, old buddy? I always know when you're in the room, Ben. She's blind. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Shush, pup. Shush, baby girl. He goes, yeah. So he's just like, oh my gosh, Ben's gone back to hating us while we were gone. And, Reed sets Ben aside and says, okay, Richards. He's gone back to calling him Richards for quite a while. You chased everybody away before I made a scene. Now what? Okay, we'll talk about a decision soon I made. They're going to retire into the someplace in the New York countryside. And he goes, I'm offering you a chance to lead the team, because he thought it was going to break up. And it was kind of a mind blower. I mean, I'm going to get to the Ms. Marvel in a bit, but you got to build to this stuff. And he thinks about it. He goes, it's just charity, therapy, trying to make me feel better. So he's moping. Anyway, Quicksilver's in town, and he's just being, he's gone back to being a real maniacal dickhead. What happened was, I'm just showing this because you can see some great John Buscema action panels. I love this. Scoops up pavement, sends Quicksilver in the air, and Johnny socks him. Apparently, well, not apparently, what actually happened was that Quicksilver had been driven mad because his wife, okay, strap yourself in, his wife, who is Crystal of the Inhumans, used to be Johnny's first love back in 1966. So what happened is Quicksilver, he ended up near death after a battle with the Sentinels in an issue, a Rich Buckler issue of the Avengers, I don't know, 104 or something. And she nursed him back to health. They fell in love, and so they got married. And he went up to the moon with the Inhumans, but he always got a burr up his ass that he was an outsider. And sometimes he'd be reminded by somebody like a dick, like what's his name, Gorgon or whatever. Well, anyway, I'll take your job. I'll be the boss of the FF. Oops. Great miniseries. I really recommend that. I'll jump ahead. Okay, next issue. Beautiful. Ron Friends channeling Kirby with Sinet Inks. Doesn't get any better. So we're back with Steve and John and Joe, and he's just mulling everything over. And he comes down, decides to take it. So it's just two members. They're going to need two more members. And Crystal just happens to show up. She wanted to see the new building and touch base with them and say hi. And a lot of stuff going on. But I had to come down today, Reed, because you've captured my crazy husband, Pietro. What happened was, for a brief time, the Vision and Scarlet Witch miniseries that was written by Steve Englehart and penciled by Richard Howell, that came out concurrent with the new West Coast Avengers ongoing series. Wow, I got that all out. Crystal and Quicksilver, who were married, they went to visit Vision and Scarlet Witch because Scarlet Witch is Pietro's sister and makes Vision his brother-in-law. And, it's really interesting. It really tied in interestingly, because there's complexity here. It's like human complexity, like where people have to deal with each other, even if they're related, or just odd stuff going on. Well, he lost his mind because she had a brief affair with an insurance salesman of all people in New Jersey when they were staying with Vision and Scarlet Witch, because she just said, I can't claim to be a good wife to you, but any errors I made were ones you drove me to with your self-righteous indifference to me and our daughter. He just, he's really off his gourd, and I actually kind of like that take on him, but they retroed it because he was always a hero. He was a hero a lot more. I'm gonna shush. Hey, you guys, shush. Daddy's doing important work. So, hey, no bark, okay? No bark. I'm jumping all over the place there, and I apologize. My fluffy little plush toys are barking. Anyway, some girl talk about the situation. She gets offered to join the FF. Shit, they threw me off. So anyway, she came to visit. How'd you like to rejoin the FF? And Ben, we gotta talk outside. And he wants to see what Ben's doing. You know, asking Crystal to join the team. You may be in charge. Reed decided that. I'll accept it, but it's pure meanness. So they get in a fight and everything. I haven't gotten to Ms. Marvel yet, I know. But, he ends up giving her the spot. And she just worries about, I just hope, please don't hurt my brother, is meaning the Torch. Okay, well, jumping ahead, it was a FF annual. So the Inhumans come to pick up everybody, she gets to see her baby Luna. And, well, she's going to stay for a while. She just announces, and they're going to take Quicksilver onto the moon to care for him. Meanwhile, here comes Ms. Marvel, finally, at 11:21 on my episode here. But I had to let you know the backstory. All right, well, Captain America 31, he had rescued her from the Power Broker. As I'd mentioned before, the Power Broker, he wasn't always reciprocal. Sometimes he would have a hold over the people that he empowered, even if they've, called it square. Well, I could have taken a train. Cap's like, no, the ride to the city, you put the color back in your cheek, and he goes to touch her on her cheek. Now, he would never do that. And that's like something guys haven't done in ages. I mean, that's just real. I've always thought that was kind of like, even when I was a kid, I thought it was kind of demeaning. It was kind of like, oh, my pet. So, but it was only there to set up the fact that she recoils at the touch of a man, and there's a good reason for it. He takes off, and there she's standing in wonderment, like, wow. I'm here in New York, and maybe I'll see Ben. So, more stuff goes on. Okay, here she comes. I'm Sharon Ventura, the lady wrestler with delusions of adequacy and a snoot full of power broker steroids. Now here's the thing. She couldn't stand Cap touching her because, well, while she was being treated with this addictive power-enhancing drug that the Carl Wallace guy, power broker, he detained her, and some of his henchmen became interested in me. And, that was a Congress code word of saying rape, and it was a thing I could do about it. So she's very, understandably, very, very, just doesn't want to be around men in general, but she loves Ben Grimm because she doesn't consider him like a man in flesh. She loves him in a way. She saves the day against Diablo. Beautiful, beautiful Senate page. So she's trying to kill him. Hey, what are you doing? Let me go. I hate him. I hate all his kind. And she says, I hate men, especially the smug ones reveling in their power, but I can never hate you. You're the thing. You told me you'd never be a man again. I don't know what to do, Ben. I wanted your comforting spirit near me, but I felt so ashamed, so useless. I'm so confused. So she finds it comforting that he's made of rocks and not like flesh and blood. It's crazy. It's sort of a little barrier because she cares for him. And maybe someday she will come around and get over this trauma, but you never know in that kind of situation. I'll tell you what you're going to do, Sharon. You're going to join my Fantastic Four. Bitter living through alchemy. Okay, we're almost at the 15-minute point, and I'm going to do part 2 in a little while because it's a long trek for our Ms. Marvel, Sharon Ventura. A lot of you guys and gals probably never heard of her before. And I hope you're enjoying my review of this. Talk to you later. Oh, thanks for all the views. I've gotten like over 250 subscribers, and I get at least that many views. I really, really appreciate that, because I do this out of fun. I don't take advertising. I just want to share my geekitude with you. And talk to you later. Part 2.